Hello and welcome to Angel Mounds. My name is Andrew Noggle and I'm the program developer here. Today we'll be talking about friction fires. A friction fire is probably the oldest way that humans have been making fire before, and the method that I'm going to be going over with you today is going to be called a Bowdrill fire. A Bowdrill is about 10 to 12,000 years old. It's a Middle Eastern technology from Egypt and Saudi Arabia. But essentially what that is it's going to be using a bow with a string to drill our spindle into what's called a footboard or a fireboard, and I'm going to be applying pressure with what's called a handhold. So you have pressure and you have motion to create friction like you would have like rubbing your hands together. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be transferring that friction into particular pieces of wood. Now there's a lot of different kinds of wood that you can use for this, and I would actually say that helps will lead me into my next piece, which is going to be that a lot of people would think of a 10 or 12,000 year old piece of technology as being really primitive, one that doesn't require a whole lot of mind, and I would say that actually couldn't be farther from the truth. It takes tree identification, it takes getting the right parts of the tree, and you want to get those parts just right in tune with each other, and you'll also want to have the correct technique developed as well. Additionally, into that, you're going to want to have all of your parts prepared just right, and there's going to be a lot of planning and forethought that gets a successful fire made. Another piece that we're going to add to that is, hopefully once I get a coal going from this, is I'm going to introduce that into what's called a tinder bundle or a bird's nest. What's important is not so much the names of these parts, but knowing how they work together, and we cover that at our upcoming Friction Fires program, so come on out for one. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get one going here. So there's a lot of technique to it, and it takes a lot of times that you have to fail. Like, I liken it to kind of riding your bicycle. You have to fall down a lot in order to get it just right. And even though I've done this hundreds of times, I still fall down plenty. So I've got a coal here, and as you can imagine, that was a pretty big output of energy. I'm just going to tap it. I'm going to hold it in place. It's a little bit of a windy day. That has its advantages, believe it or not. But I'm going to give myself a chance to catch my breath, let a little bit of the wind do some work. But basically I want to let this coal get as big as possible because I want as much surface area burning before I introduce it into my tinder bundle. I'm going to use that wind to my advantage. And so a lot of people think of friction fires as requiring strength. It also requires gentleness and patience. And now it's a balance between feeding it and smothering it. So one thing you might have noticed is I also had to have a way to pick my coal up. I also have to have a place to put my coal, because if I just did all of that work for nothing, this bursts into flame and I have nowhere to put it. So I'm graduating my fuel. Understanding that is a really important part of it as well. I'm just going to let the wind do the work, honestly, at this point. now we've made a nice door for that fire to spread into. And if you like what you see here, or if you've got any questions, this is a good chance to sign up for one of our programs. Thank you very much. Have a good day.